Here's the book, just what Mama needs. Charlie Glenn, illustrated by Emiko Hayaro. Just what Mama needs. On Monday, Abby wore a red striped shirt, raggedy pants, and a black patch over one eye. She swaggered around and sliced the air with her sword. Yo ho ho, she shouted. It's like a pirate. A pirate, said Mama, just what I need. So Abby helped Mama swab the deck. Swish, swish, swish. On Tuesday, Abby wore dark glasses and a big overcoat with an upturned collar. Oh, looks like she wants to be a spy. She peered through a magnifying glass. She said, I think I see a clue. A detective, said Mama. Just what I need. So Abby helped Mama find the missing socks and underwear. That'll happen on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Abby wore a 10-gallon hat and silver spurs. So she looked like a cowboy. She looked like a cowgirl. She galloped across the prairie, whirling her lasso in the air. Howdy, partner, she said as she reined her horse. There, now she's playing with horses and cows. A cowgirl, said Mama, just what I need. So Abby helped Mama round up the livestock. Yeehaw! That all happened on Wednesday. On Thursday, Abby wore a pointy black hat and a swishy black cape. She flew around on a broom. Hee 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 hee, she crackled. A witch, said Mama, just what I need. So Abby helped Mama mix up a delicious brew for lunch. Bubble, 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 bubble. That happened on Thursday. On Friday, Abby wore puffy pants and a towel turban on her head. Master, you have freed me from the magic lamp, she said with a deep bow. Your wish is my command. A genie, said Mama, just what I need. So Mama wished, and Abby and I made her bed. Shazip. Picked up her toy, Shazap. Put away her book, Shazam. But that's all because everyone knows that with a genie you only get 3 wishes. And there you go. That happened on Friday. Here comes Saturday. On Saturday, Abby wore a purple robe and a golden crown. She glided through the palace giving orders. Do this. She said, do that. This happened on Saturday. A queen, said Mama, just what I need. So Abby helped Mama do the royal shopping. The store doors open at her command. She rode high in her silver carriage and called out her orders. 5 bananas, 2 loaves of bread, 1 jar of peanut butter. She helped pay with coins from the imperial treasury. Plink, plink, plink. This happened on Saturday. On Sunday, Abby wore her favorite shirt. She colored a picture using her favorite blue crayon. She banged out Frog Win a Courtin' 17 times on her bongo drums. Then she lined up her stuffed animals against the wall, tallest to the shortest, and she yodeled for them. Yodel lady, yodel lady, yodel lady. This is what happened on Sunday. Mama came into Abby's room. Let's see, said Mama. What are you today, an artist? No, said Abby. A drummer? No, said Abby. A zookeeper? A yodeler? No one knows, said Abby. Then what? Asked Mama. Today, said Abby. Today I am. What do you think she is? Me. And Abby said, Mama, that's what I need most of all. There you have it, just what Mama needs. Now we've got Larry the Lion by Michelle Knudsen, illustrated by Kevin Hawkins. There's the front of the book. There's one of the pages. Larry the Lion. One day a lion came to the library. He walked right past the circulation desk and up into the stacks. Oh boy. The lion went to the library. Mr. McGee ran down the hall to the head librarian's office. Miss Merriweather, he called. No running, said Miss Merriweather without looking up. But there's a lion, said Miss McGee in the library. Is he breaking any rules? Asked Miss Merriweather. She was very particular about rule breaking. Well, no, said Mr. McGee. Not really, then leave him be. There we go, leave him be, she said. The lion wandered all around the library. He sniffed the card catalog. He rubbed his head against the new book collection. Then he padded over to the story corner and went to sleep. No one was sure what to do. There wasn't any rules about lions in the library. Look at that. Lion in the library. Soon it was time for story hour. There weren't any rules about lions at story hour either. The story lady seemed a little nervous, but she read out the first book titled in a good, clever voice. The lion looked up. The story lady kept reading. The lion stayed for the next story and the story after that. He waited for another story where the children began to walk away. Story hour is over, a little girl told him. It's time to go. The lion looked at the children. He looked at the story lady, looked at the closed books. Then he roared very loud. Roar! Uh-oh. Miss Merriweather came striding out of her office. Who is making that noise? She demanded. It's the lion, said Mr. McGee. Miss Merriweather marched over to the lion. If you cannot be quiet, you will have to leave, she said in a stern voice. Those are the rules. The lion kept roaring. He sounded sad. The little girl tugged on Miss Merriweather's dress. He promises to be quiet. Can he come back for story hour tomorrow? She asked. The lion stopped roaring. He looked at Miss Merriweather. Miss Merriweather looked back. Then she said yes, a nice quiet lion would certainly be allowed to come back for story hour tomorrow. Hooray, said the children. Uh-oh. The lion gets to go back for story hour the next day. The next day the lion came back. You are early, said Miss Merriweather. Story hour is not till 3 o'clock. The lion did not budge. Very well, said Miss Merriweather. You might as well make yourself useful. She sent him off to dust the encyclopedias till it was time for story hour. The next day the lion came early. This time Miss Merriweather asked him to lick all the envelopes for the overdue notices. Look at that. He's cleaning and licking envelopes. Soon the lion began doing things without being asked. He dusted the encyclopedias. He licked the envelopes. He let small children stand on his back to reach books on the highest shelves. Then he curled up in the story corner to wait for story hour to begin. Look at that. He's being helpful. He's being a helpful lion. At first, the people in the library were nervous about the lion, but soon they got used to having him around. In fact, he seemed very well suited for the library. His big feet were quiet on the library floor and made a comfy backrest for the children at story hour, and he never roared in the library anymore. What a helpful lion, people said. They patted his soft head as he walked by. How did we never get along without him? Mr. McGee scowled when he heard that. They had always gotten along fine before. No lions were needed. Lions, he thought, could not understand rules. They did not belong in the library. Check that out. He's helping him out. One day after he had dusted all the encyclopedias and licked all the envelopes, he helped the small children. The Lion padded down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office to see what else there was to do. There was still some time left before story hour. "Hello, Lion," said Mrs. Merriweather. "I know something you can do. You can bring a book back into the stack for me. Let me just get it down from the shelf." Miss Merriweather stepped up onto the step stool. The book was just out of reach, for Miss Merriweather stood on her toes. She stretched out her fingers. "Almost there," she said. And Miss Merriweather stretched a little too far. "Uh-oh." "Ouch," said Miss Merriweather softly. She did not get up. "Mr. McGee," she called after a minute. "Mr. McGee," but Mr. McGee was at the circulation desk. He could not hear her calling. "Lion," said Miss Merriweather, "please go get Mr. McGee." The Lion ran down the hall. "No running," Mrs. Merriweather called after him. "Uh-oh, it's causing trouble." "No running down the hall," Miss Merriweather called after him. "Uh-oh, he's running down the hall." The Lion put his big front paws up on the circulation desk and looked at Mr. McGee. "Go away, Lion," said Mr. McGee. "I'm busy." The Lion whined. He pointed his nose down the hall toward Miss Merriweather's office. Mr. McGee ignored him. Finally, the Lion did the only thing he could think up to do. He looked at Mr. McGee right in the eyes, and he opened his mouth very wide and roared the loudest roar he'd ever roared in his life. Roar! It made Mr. Merriweather's glasses fall off. Mr. McGee gasped. "You're not being quiet," he said to the Lion. "You're breaking the rules." Mr. McGee walked down the hall as fast as he could. Lion did not follow him. He had broken the rules. He knew what that meant. He hung his head and walked toward the door. Mr. McGee did not notice Miss Merriweather. He had called as he walked, "Miss Merriweather, the Lion broke the rules." The Lion broke the rules. He had to. He wasn't listening. He burst into Mrs. Merriweather's office. She was not in her chair. "Miss Merriweather," he asked. Sometimes Miss Merriweather's from the floor behind her desk. "There is a good reason to break the rules, even in the library. Now please go call the doctor. I think I broke my arm." Mr. McGee ran to call the doctor. "No running," Mr. Merriweather called after him. Uh-oh. The next day, things were back to normal almost. Mrs. Merriweather's left arm was in a cast. The doctor had told her not to work too hard. "I'll have my Lion to help me," Miss Merriweather thought. But the Lion did not come to the library that morning. At 3 o'clock, Miss Merriweather walked over to the story corner. The story lady was just beginning a story for the children. The Lion was not there. Uh-oh. People in the library kept looking up from their books and computer screens, hoping they would see a familiar furry face. But the Lion did not come that day. The Lion did not come the next day either, or that day after. Aw, man. I think the Lion knew he wasn't needed anymore. Poor Lion. One evening, Mr. McGee stopped by Miss Merriweather's office on his way out. "Can I do anything for you before I go, Miss Merriweather?" he asked. "No, thank you," said Miss Merriweather. She was looking out the window. Her voice was very quiet, even for the library. Mr. McGee frowned as he walked away. He thought probably it was something he could do for Miss Merriweather after all. Oh no, he's going to probably go look for the Lion. Mr. McGee left the library, but he did not go home. He walked around the neighborhood. He looked under cars. He looked behind bushes. He looked in the backyards and trash cans and tree houses because he was looking for the Lion. Finally, he circled all the way back to the library. The Lion was sitting outside looking through the glass doors. "Hello, Lion," said Mr. McGee. The Lion did not turn around. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McGee, "that there's a new rule at the library. No roaring allowed, unless you have a very good reason," Say, if you're trying to help my friend who's been hurt, for example. The lion's ears twitched. He turned around, but Mr. McGee was already walking away. The next day, Mr. McGee walked down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office. "What is it, Mr. McGee?" "Mr. B?" asked Mrs. Merriweather in her new, sad, quiet voice. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McBee, "that there's a lion in the library." Miss Weatherby jumped up from her chair and ran down the hall. Mr. McBee smiled. "No running," he called after her. Miss Merriweather didn't listen. Uh-oh. She wasn't even listening to her own rules. And there's her broken hand. She's in a cast. Sometimes there was a good reason to break the rules even in the library. And there's the lion and the children. The lion came back. So that is the story of Larry the Lion. And in the back of the book, Michelle Knutson has worked in libraries in New York City and in New York. So that's where that lady worked. But that's Larry the Lion. Thanks for listening.